Hello and welcome to Coffee and Conversation here on BTCN. I'm your host, Shashank Bengali. I'm here with Ami Brown. He's VP of Cyber Technologies at Add-on APAC. Ami, thanks for being with us. Tell us a bit about Add-on APAC and what it is that you all do.
Add-on APAC is a company that's based here in Singapore with offices in Australia, in the Philippines, and we are doing cybersecurity projects in the region. We are mainly bringing to the region in Israeli technologies, mainly cybersecurity technologies, and our main expertise is to solve or to close the gaps between different technologies, because today there are hundreds of different technologies that companies can use, organizations can use in order to secure their networks and their applications.
Tell us a bit about the gaps that may exist between different countries in the region. Obviously with Asia Pacific you have Singapore, a small advanced economy, and you have other emerging economies like Myanmar, Cambodia. How do the gaps between the countries play into your work?
I think first of all there is a gap in the awareness for the cyber threat, and the cyber threat is growing. Today it's originated by crime organizations or by states. In many cases there are a cooperation between nation states and the crime organizations. Another significant gap is in the trained personnel. In order to effectively operate cyber technologies and in order to effectively improve the security of organizations, you need to train your personnel.
And do you see overall that there is greater receptivity to the idea that cyber warfare is crucial to defeating the modern day criminal threats?
I think currently the bad guys are still winning. I think we have a lot to do in order to improve our cyber resiliency as a humanity. And I think any organization have to consider the fact that at some point he will be breached and the implications for that. It is especially critical when we are talking about utilities and critical infrastructures.
And you mentioned threats from various types of actors. Obviously we're talking about state actors and non-state actors. Can you talk a bit about the different challenges you face in combating one versus the other, coming from a state versus coming from a different type of criminal network?
It's not important. The damages are the same damages. In some cases, the damages that the criminals can do are more severe than damages that can be caused by a nation-state attack.
And can you describe the current state of readiness and the current state of cooperation among law enforcement in different countries in the region and also with companies? In many cases, we have companies that are based in Western countries that are operating here in this region. So what is the current state of how these various players work together to fight these threats?
I know that there are some cooperation between companies and enterprises in the region. I know that there is information sharing between organizations. In many cases, when we are dealing with a global enterprise with branches here in the region, the decisions will be made in the headquarters, which is not here in the region, and it will affect the subsidiaries here in the region. In other cases, the subsidiary has the capability to take its own decisions. I don't think there is one size fits all. Any organization operates in different ways, and this is part of the challenge, but this is part of the fun. In order to effectively handle cybersecurity in organization, we need to train our personnel. Not just the technical staff. It is very important to train the technical staff, but we need to train the management as well, because in many cases, the decisions that we'll have to take in case of significant cyber event is a management decisions. And if the management was not trained and was not shaped their decision-making process, how to handle cyber incident, they will not be able to do it effectively in case of a real incident. And this is very important to train those organizations and to train any organization how to react from the management's perspective to cyber incident.
It comes down to personnel in many cases. Like you said, you have the top brass of an organization that were trained in a different era before there were such threats. So do you find that in this region, in the APAC region, that awareness is increasing, not just among the agencies, but also among the public, that these systems could be threats?
The awareness is increasing. The pace is way too slow, but the awareness is increasing, yes.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for joining us on Coffee and Conversation. I'm Shashank Bengali, and we'll see you next time.